So it appears we've got some new cards. I haven't looked at these cards yet. I just pulled them up and turned on my stream. So we're gonna do initial impressions here as always. Lightning fast because there might be a new reveal in like 30 seconds from now. All right. So there's this new keyword, Reforge. Create a random blade fragment. Still needed to restore the blade. Once you've cast all three, create Blade of Exile, which is this thing. 3 mana slow, 2 attack, overwhelm, and quick attack. Leaked. I don't know what the source of this was, but it's on the Reddit. Interesting. So there's these cards that Reforge, the 1 mana 1/2, the 2 mana 3/1 Rune Weaver, and this combat trick Weapon Hilt. And all of them will generate cards from here. Glinting, Keen, and Heavy Blade Fragments. These are token cards. And then once you've played all three, you create a Blade of Exile. It was posted on Twitter, but deleted after 5 minutes. Oh, whoops. Wait, if they deleted it, I probably shouldn't be talking about it. I didn't know they deleted it. What, guys? Oh, you didn't see anything here. You saw nothing here. Here, don't tell Riot, though. It was revealed on EU Riot stream. Which is it, guys? Tell me the truth. Like, did they reveal it, or was it an accident? Like, what the hell? It was revealed? Okay. Alright, it was revealed. I trust you guys. I believe you guys wouldn't lie to me like that. It's an official reveal on the broadcast. On the broadcast, apparently. They did it on the broadcast. Okay? Perfect. Alright, again, you guys would not lie to me. Anyway, this is it. So, you've got these... This is an interesting mechanic, Reforge. It's like a mini quest. I'm a big fan of these kinds of like mini quest concepts, and also we do know that this is gonna have some kind of interaction with Riven in some way. Like we know that she has like the broken blade and it needs to get reforged. It's like Aragorn in Lord of the Rings, and that's her whole thing or something like that. Which means, you know, with these blade fragments, there's a good chance that her level up will be like, play Blade of the Exile and I level up, or something like that. Or she generates blade fragments or something like that, right? So we know this is going to interact with her in some way. So there's going to be more synergy to this package, which is already a high synergy package, right? These are actually interesting cards to evaluate because we've got Blade Squire, we've got Rune Weaver, and we've got Weapon Hilt. These are the 3 main deckable ones. All 3 of these just create these bottom 3 ones, and then these bottom 3 ones in turn create Blade of the Exile over here, right? Which is, yeah, as I say, very interesting. So we kind of have to evaluate these cards as main deck value, and obviously Blade Squire and Rune Weaver, let's just look to them first. These are kind of below curve. You wouldn't play a 1/1/2 and you wouldn't play a 2/3/1, but they give you free combat trick in hand. I should clarify, these ones aren't really combat tricks because these can't be cast in combat. They're at gem speed, and this one's at slow speed. So they don't give you combat tricks, but they do give you little tokens that actually do give some amount of value, right? Depending on the kind of strategy you're going for. The one awkwardness is that I feel like there will be a lot of situations where this deck will maybe not want Overwhelm, depending... It's really hard to say without knowing what Riven does. This deck, there will be a lot of board states where we can't use Quick Attack. And there will be, you know... I think this one's probably the most consistently valuable. But even this one, you're not always going to be able to use it where you want. I would say, like, with these fragments, one thing that stands out to me is you really want a challenger to use them on. Like, Keen Blade Fragment is really good when you slap it on a challenger. So, like, we don't know what the deck will look like, but maybe something like Trifarian Glory Seeker or something like that. Because giving something quick attack for cheap is gonna get so much more value if you can slap it on a challenger or something like that. So overall, honestly, I cannot evaluate the competitive nature of these cards without seeing Riven, because they're completely dependent on how good or synergistic with this package Riven will be. Like, this is it's not something we can easily say. But I will say that the fact that these give you kind of like free token value makes it feel pretty solid, right? Like, as long as it has the right support package going for it, it's perfectly fine, and there's nothing wrong with this at all. Looks like Riven/Lee will be a thing. Yeah, one of the cute things about Riven, so we thought for a while, a lot of like the community suspicion was that Riven would involve stuns in some way, or she might be like potentially comboable with Yasuo or something like that, just because of her kit in League. And it looks like, I mean, that prediction seems entirely wrong here. Again, we don't know what she does, but even if she has some kind of stun, it's probably not going to be enough for that. But we do see a lot of these spells here, and suddenly that makes it look like Riven might actually be, you know, very comboable with a lot of, you know, the spell synergy cards. And you'll notice, I mean, there's a lot of like intertangled connections here, right? Like Riven, in theory, we could try to run with Victor to try to like level something up. In theory, we could try to run it with Zoe. Okay, don't run this with Zoe. But the thing is, you can see all the champions are kind of intertwined. Like, they all do kind of work together. I do like the themes they've got going on here. And yeah, Lee Sin is also another one that really benefits from these spell triggers. Right now, what I will say is we are currently in a card pool. When we look at these 3 new things that have come out, like Riven, Zoe, and Victor, and all their support cards, plus the current meta that we've had, you know, the current meta has been, you know, go hard, PNZ failure is very spell based. We are currently looking at the most spell based meta we've ever seen, right? The cards like River Shaper are seeing play in like Fiora Shen. I suspect River Shaper will see play in other archetypes. Cards like, I think Starlit Seer could actually try to come back into play or something like that. Like, they're right now is the era of spell synergy and spell-based archetypes, right? And a lot of those are champions. You know, we see Ezreal, we see Heimerdinger as well. I could name everything, but right now this is where like spell-based archetypes are at their peak. So that's pretty interesting. Stony Suppressor, exactly. That's what I was about to say next. Stony Suppressor is actually a hilarious counter to basically everything we're seeing right now. Honestly, could end up being pretty low key. Yeah, Taric still doesn't see play. Yeah, there's probably better things to run than Taric overall. Taric is not really spell synergy in this way. Taric mostly synergizes with larger spells rather than a lot of little spells, which almost all the other spell synergy cards synergize with a lot of little spells rather than, you know, some high impact, high synergy spells with it. Okay. So yeah, that's my initial impressions here. Again, I wish I could try to evaluate these cards without Riven, but it's just a big missing piece of the puzzle that we have truly no point of reference to call these cards. Really, I'm on the fence. It could be one way or another. At the very least, I think that, you know, the units probably make a bit more sense than Weapon Hilt overall. Weapon Hilt might be a little lacking. Attack power is a pretty weak stat, especially for a combat trick. There's, like, when you have Sharp Sight and when you take away the plus health from Sharp Sight, because that's basically what this is, right? It's 2 mana for 2 attack, and it's got the Reforge, of course. But like, if we imagine this as like combat trick value, the 2 health is most of the reason you run Sharp Sight, right? So like, Weapon Hilt feels to me to be weaker than Rune Weaver or Blade Squire. But again, if this is built in a spell synergy combo deck, then Weapon Hilt could easily make more sense, right? We don't know. Compare Weapon Hilt to Pale Cascade. Yeah, Weapon Hilt to Pale Cascade is another good one. Whereas like Weapon Hilt, it gives you 1 less health, which again, that 1 health is insanely important. It doesn't have the Nightfall downside, but Nightfall's not really a downside with Pale Cascade. Like, it almost never matters. And the Reforge is almost always less good than a draw 1. Like, even in spell synergy decks, they would rather have a draw 1. So yeah, overall, Weapon Hilt, you know, obviously that's not saying Weapon Hilt is bad, because Pale Cascade is like a premium auto-include card. Again, if the synergy is high, you'll run Weapon Hilt. I'm just saying, like, right now, just looking at these cards, I'd be more inclined to go with Runeweaver or Blade Squire, and then Hilt if I also need it, you know, which I might. Again, no idea what Riven does. All right, that's it. That's my initial impressions of the whole Blade of the Exile Reforged package. Overall, I like the design of this. I really do, I think. I do like how it fits in very well with the other pre-existing champions we've seen so far. I like how it creates this own sort of like unique mini quest that is somewhat different from like a champion level up mini quest, although probably in the case of these cards with Riven, probably will be related in some way. So cool design for these. I'm a big fan of this.